Freedom 250 took place yesterday, and can I say, this card was the greatest card I've ever watched in my whole life. 7 fights, 7 knockouts. I did miss Lopez versus Garcia. I rewatched it. That was a banger too. This card was generational. The reason I didn't make the video straight away after is because I had a fucking exam straight away after the event. And I had no sleep, and I've been like a fucking zombie. So yeah, making it now. Better late than never, right? And let's start with the main event. What is going on? Look at this, he's got a win here. What is this sport? Gaethje beats the fuck out of Topuria. This is the biggest shock. I knew Strickland could beat Chimaev. That kind of shocked me, but I was like, okay, Strickland, he's good. He's got good takedown defense. His grappling has been talked of as really good, and Strickland and Chimaev's gassed in the past. So I knew Strickland had the path to victory there, even though I picked Chimaev, because everyone picked Chimaev. That shocked me, but this is ridiculously shocking. Ridiculously shocking. Gaethje just beats the fuck out of Topuria. Volk couldn't do it. Holloway couldn't do it. Oliveira couldn't do it. But Justin Gaethje, who lost to Max and Oliveira, and every single time Gaethje's had a title fight, he's lost, and he's always been known as he's really good, but he just can't quite win the belt. Similar to Dustin Poirier. Now Gaethje's won the belt at 38 and beat a 28-year-old Ilia Topuria. Unreal. Can I just say Topuria's game plan? I know what Topuria's doing. He said before the fight, my game plan is to take your fucking head off. And what he did, he walked in there only trying to take his head off. He didn't try to set anything up, really. He wasn't jabbing to the body. He did land to the body, but I think he could have set it up nicely if he was jabbing to the body, setting shit up, but, Topuria went in there thinking he was going to get a first round KO, and it backfired badly. We go to round 1. I think Topuria was just walking into jabs straight away. Yeah, Gaethje won round 1. It was still a competitive round, though. I think watching it live, I might have leaned Ilia, but I rewatched the fight, the highlights. It looked like Gaethje won. Topuria was rocking. When Topuria would hit Gaethje in round 1, he'd sting him, and he'd sit him in a chair, and he'd like, oh shit, that was a big shot. But he couldn't drop Gaethje with headshots in this fight. Gaethje would, landing jabs early. He landed an uppercut in the clinch, I think, or maybe it wasn't in the clinch, and that cut his face already in round 1 bad. We'll talk about his face. His face goes to an absolute horror show. So yeah, early in round 1, Gaethje's landing good. I think ended around Topuria has some success. Not too much. Yeah, no, it was a scrap. They in the pocket, I think, end of round 1, they both just start trading hooks. And I think both didn't land too much. Can I just say, this fight was actually generational. Dude, this fight was so sick to watch live, especially an underdog pull it off. I think Gaethje would shoot takedowns just to give him thoughts, and not really to get them. He'd shoot a takedown and then grab in the clinch through the takedown and start landing uppercuts. That was a lovely technique from Gaethje. Let's go to round 2, and this is where Topuria fumbled it, man. Look at the strikes. Topuria fumbled it in round 2. Early on, they're both having success, and then Topuria lands some nasty liver shots over and over again, and he hurts Gaethje so bad to the liver. Oh my god, dude. Gaethje's liver was absolutely fucked. He smashed shots to the body over and over again. Gaethje went down eventually, and you know the mistake he made? He went to submit him. If he let him up almost straight away, he would have finished him with body shots there, probably. His body was cooked. But then he went to submit him. And to be fair, in his mind, I can submit him, I can win the fight. Gaethje's been subbed by Khabib and Oliveira when he got rocked and subbed by Oliveira, and he probably thought the same thing. But no, that didn't happen. Gaethje toughed it out, and Topuria was going for reverse triangles, he was going for arm bars, he wasn't really throwing any punches to the body, he was throwing a couple elbows and punches to the head, but nothing major. Or when he got to mount, he should have just unloaded with punches, but he went for subs, and that failed him, and that costed him the fight. Because when he got to round 3, he was gassed from the output he put. But yeah, fair play Gaethje for surviving these liver shots. Dude, the body shots were so nasty. They were actually nasty. See? Yeah, they were fucking beautiful shots to the body. Gaethje will turn into a punching bag for a little bit here up against the fence, curling up, saying, oh, because they were tough, but he toughed it out, dude. He toughed out, and Topuria fumbled the fight in this moment. And let's say, even if Topuria did finish in round 2, I would have said it would have been a shitty performance, but he pulled it off. But yeah, I mean, Topuria, round 2 was his moment, bro, and in round 3, oh my god, Gaethje beat the fuck out of him in round 3. I think I might have scored as a 10-8 round, dude. He beat the shit out of him. Topuria is gassed from the output in round 2. Topuria is gassed. He was so gassed, and then Gaethje starts putting it on him in moments, dude. He starts putting it on him, and then in the middle of the round, I think he lands a jab and then a big right hand, like a clubbing right hand, and that rocks and drops Topuria badly. When I was watching it live, I could not believe it. Topuria was getting dropped by Justin Gaethje, and he was close to getting finished, dude. His face was a mess. He has a smashed nose, he has blood all over his face, and his new haircut, dude, did not look good. He looked like a proper idiot. His face was a fucking turning black and blue from Justin Gaethje. I don't know what Justin Gaethje had in those fists, dude. Because Pimlet was getting his ass beat, and he was getting rocked, and he was hurt badly, and his face was bad. Nowhere near as bad as Topuria's face. Topuria's face was terrible. This round was straight domination. I think he got in the clinch. Was it this round? Oh yeah, it was the start of this round. His corner told him, you need to get on him, because they knew he was tired after the output, and he just went straight in the clinch, landing nasty uppercuts in the clinch. I think he, in a moment, that might have been round 4, but he might have took him down in a moment. But yeah, round 3, straight domination from just big Rufus Justin Gaethje, beating the shit out of pound for pound number 2, looking unbeatable, Ilia Topuria. Let's go to round 4. Oh, dude, this was actually, before the last minute, or like the last 40, 30 seconds, this was looking like a Topuria round. Since in between round 3 and 4, also, yeah, he was in between round 3 and 4, he was kind of quitting. He was saying really loudly, I can't see, I can't see, I can't see. That's a way of trying to quit the fight, really, I'd say. That's kind of trying to quit the fight. Also, Topuria saying, I'll never shoot a takedown. Oh, dude, this is such an aura loss for Ilia Topuria. I was on the hype train. I think everyone was. He was so sick. He was celebrating before the fight. He was saying, Justin, there will never be a second round. You lost to Justin Gaethje. How? Oh, dude, this sport. As much as I thought it was cool to Justin Gaethje to win, I wanted Ilia to win because for integrity of the sport, right? The best in the world, the pound for pound number 2. He literally beat Volk, Max, and Oliveira back to back. Looked impressive in all of them. Should not lose to big Rufus Justin Gaethje, but you know, hey, it's MMA at the end of the day. So in between round 2 and 3, I think they almost stopped it. The doctor, I think it was like an inexperienced doctor, was going to say no, but Mark Legier let it continue for another round. To be fair, you could have stopped it in round 3 because, you know, he only took more damage, but Ilia wanted to fight, and he actually had a decent round 4. I think he kind of rocked Justin a little bit in moments. He took him down, dad control, but then at the end, Justin got out. I think Justin also might have rocked him a little bit in this round. I can't really remember, to be fair. Yeah, to more significant strikes. I think he might have rocked Ilia late, like midway in this round. And then the end of the round, north-south, you know, Justin Gaethje's classic north-south position. I think Ilia might have had him in mount, or Ilia was in like half guard. Justin rolled out, had him in north-south, landed one knee to the body, which didn't affect him. But then at the end of the round, he smashed the knee to the body, and then you saw Ilia Topuria crumble. And then after that, he started smashing hooks to the body, and Ilia, you could tell he was in a lot of pain, and he was fucked. And he went to the corner, his face was a mess, he was black and blue. Dude, Justin probably broke his ribs with that knee. This was so sick to watch. Justin Gaethje beat the fuck out of him, and Topuria quits on the stool. Or did he quit? I think he said something to his brother. I don't know what he said, and then his brother said, "This is the end of the fight. It's the end of the fight." And I'll be honest, I think that's a smart decision. He has a broken orbital, right? He has a smashed nose. He has broken ribs, probably. You know, let your fighter live a fight for another day, and he may never recover from these injuries like he was before. The amount of scar tissue he's going to have now. His face was a fucking mess. I actually have some images of his face, which I'll... Look at his face, man. His face is an absolute mess, dude. Can I just say, look at this, dude. Justin Gaethje's got the undisputed belt. What the fuck? Look at his face, dude. Black and blue. He's quitting on the stool. He got his ass beat. Who the fuck? Before this fight happened, who would have thought Ilia Topuria would have had... Look at the face here, bro. Look at the look. I think this was in round 4 when he was just walking... Or round 3 when he was just walking away from him. Dude, his face got absolutely destroyed, and an absolute whooping from Justin Gaethje here. He definitely got rocked in this fight, but absolute whooping. And I don't know how Ilia Topuria's ever going to recover. Look at him here, dude. His eyes completely swollen shut. He's probably got a broken nose. He's also probably got broken ribs. Bruising all over the face. He has his ass whooped. I mean, this was crazy to see. Quits on the stool. You know, Unreal moment, though, for the White House, right? The big American won in the main event. A massive, massive upset. Probably the greatest upset in UFC history, I'd say. I know there's Matt Serra and GSP, but in recent history, when the sport's like actually a way, way bigger now, this was the greatest upset in recent UFC history. Better than Duplessis, Chimaev, and Strickland and Chimaev and Izzy. These are Strickland and Izzy. This was a generational moment to watch. I kind of wanted Ilya to win for the integrity, but it's cool seeing the underdog pull it off at 38. Wins at the White House, does a backflip off the fence. Perfect moment for, almost broke his neck. Perfect moment for Justin Gaethje. He had a cool moment on the mic. He did it, dude, at the White House lawn. Amazing, amazing moment. And Ilya Topuria, he's going to need some time off after this one, dude. His face is a freak show. Absolute freak show. Yeah, generational performance from Justin Gaethje. Unreal. Absolutely shocked me. I did not see this one coming. Oh, no. Now on to the co-main event. Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. Can I just say something? Great performance from Cyril Gane. I'm gonna shit on him here, but not because of how he fought, but not because of the skills that he displayed. 12-54, Alex. No, bro. The aura he would have had in this moment, it just would have been too cool. It just would have been too cool if Alex Pereira won. He would have been the first freeweight world champion. He would have had all this aura. Alex Pereira's walkout was generational when he shot the arrow when he was walking out from the White House. It was so sick. I love Alex Pereira, but his career's over now. Anyway, on to Cyril Gane. Great, it was a great round one from Cyril Gane, and kind of what I expected. I thought he'd win round one. Pereira's defense is pretty shit, and he looked really slow in this fight. Cyril Gane was hacking the inside low kick. That was a big weapon in this fight that he was using. It was landing great. He was turning Alex Pereira's inside of his leg to like black and blue. Purple, heavy bruising on his leg. You know, it was a good early, pretty dominant round from Cyril Gane. Ended a round. Pereira was using the head kick as well, which was good. Didn't land, but it was just, and the body kick, they were good because of the Southpaw Orthodox matchup. And at the end of the round, Pereira landed a big right hand on Cyril Gane, and that was his really only proper big shot of the fight. So yeah, good opening round from Cyril Gane. I wasn't too worried exactly. Pereira's probably going to build into this. Then round two, one strike. Early on, Cyril Gane drops him bad with a jab. Lands a bunch of follow-up shots, and then Pereira gets up, grabs like a single leg, but he's really, really hurt, and then gets finished by just a bunch of hooks up against it. I think he gets in the, Cyril Gane gets him in the clinch, smashes an elbow, then he gets finished. But let's talk about the finish now, when he gets rocked by the jab. You little French bitch. He's smashing elbows and hammer fists to the back of the head. I can count there's at least over 7 times he smashed elbows on the back of his head. Fuck this French cunt. Fuck Cyril Gane. I hope Tom Aspinall beats the shit out of this little bald fucking French cunt. I actually hate Cyril Gane, bro. He's actually such a little bitch. Fuck Cyril Gane. He's a really good fighter, though. Then let me get back. He's a really good fighter, though. And he just beat one of my favourites, Alex Pereira, dude, who had all this aura, dude. He could have been the first freeweight world champion. No, Cyril Gane ruined it by a dominant performance. But bro, when you have a rocked opponent, please throw to the side of the head. You can kill someone with back of the head shots. Look at this big heavyweight. He's smashing full power elbows and hammer fists to the back of the head over and over again. And the referee did nothing. I think back in this sport, back of the head shots are legal because 9 times out of 10, if you throw a back of the head shot, especially if it's on the ground in like those positions, the referee ain't gonna say shit. And this isn't the first time for Cyril Gane. Against Tuivasa, he smashed like a massive standing hammer fist to the back of the head. Against Junior Dos Santos, elbow to the back of the head. Against Tom Aspinall, he raked his eyes out and just pushed his fingers into his eyes and both eyes and he couldn't see. Against John Jones early on, he kicked him low and groin shotted him. This guy's a dirty little cunt, and all of his fights he's really dirty, yet he's privileged by the UFC, and I hate Cyril Gane, man. But how he's gonna fight Tom Aspinall next? I think he'll beat Tom, and I really hope not. I'd be heavy rooting for Tom Aspinall to fucking knock his lights out, but I'd pick Cyril Gane there. But yeah, before the finish, he was fighting clean, and before he rocked him, it was a really good performance from Cyril Gane. Amazing performance from Cyril Gane, and I think Pereira's kind of done now. He's 38 years old. It's kind of over for my go, Alex Pereira. Pereira's one of the fighters who got me into the sport, bro, and it's just so sad. It's just so sad seeing a bitch like Cyril Gane beat him, who is a really good fighter, but he's just such a dirty cunt, man. But anyway, we're going to see Gane versus Pereira, which is cool. And Alex Pereira, I don't know what he's going to do next. But yeah, great, amazing performance from Cyril Gane. Just beating Alex Pereira, who came off that amazing win with Ankalaev. So great performance from him. He's fighting for the belt. Good for him, but fuck Cyril Gane, bro. Please Aspinall beat him, but that's a tough fight. What else do I have to say about the main? I didn't really go on too long, so yeah, I've kind of made my message clear. Fuck Cyril Gane. Now let's get some positivity here. Sean O'Malley beat the brakes of Ayman Zahabi, you know, as expected, right? So what should have happened? Zahabi only had leg kicks really, and he had a couple punches, and Zahabi was shit scared. He was shit scared, and to be honest, at the highest level of the sport, leg kicks don't ever finish fights really. It doesn't happen. So if your game plan is to win by only leg kicks, it's when you're not landing really any punches, it's going to be a really hard way to win. Round 1, I think Zahabi, early on, as the start of the fight, he was scarpering on the back foot, shit scared. And whenever O'Malley would feint at him, he really put his hands up. He was scared of Sean O'Malley. He was really scared. And he'd kind of run in with the inside low kick in round 1, and it did kind of land, and it was a powerful shot, but at the end of the day, it's an inside low kick. Nothing much happened in round 1, and in the end, let's get the numbers here. Yeah, not much strikes. At the end of round 1, O'Malley was landing good crosses to the body because of the Philly shell stance. I guess it was open. And then the end of round 1, Sean O'Malley rocks Zahabi a bit with a couple punches at the end of the round. And then Zahabi, it was an O'Malley round. Round 2, though, I thought Zahabi was actually doing actual damage with the low kicks now. The inside and the outside low kick he was going to now was landing good. And I was like, Joe Rogan, yeah, I know they were landing, but like, O'Malley was landing punches too, and low kicks are never going to stop a fight at high-level MMA. I can't think of a time low kicks stopped a fight at high-level MMA in recent history. But they were landing good. They had some decent pop on them, and when they'd landed, O'Malley was like, okay, these are good shots. These are good shots, and he was landing the low kick. He was really loading up on them and started landing a couple little punches here. Nothing much, but, he was slamming the low kicks. But anyway, let's get to the finish. I think O'Malley threw, a 1-2? I think it was a 1-2 rocked him, then he threw another cross, and then that was the end of the fight, and he did the salute KO. So yeah, 1-2 rocked him, then another cross dropped him bad. Zahabi wasn't out, but I think it was a fair stoppage, and then O'Malley, he knows what he was doing there. The walk-off is a way to stop the fight early. And anyway, let's be real, O'Malley would have just gave him more damage on the ground there, so yeah. So, good performance from Sean, as expected, though. Lovely salute KO on the White House, huge stage. The last time he was at like a one-time event was the UFC Sphere, and he fumbled there. Had Merab crotch sniffing him for 5 rounds. So great performance from Sean O'Malley. Really good performance. Zahabi, he's 38. He was never that good. He was scraping by split decisions off Vera and Aldo. And I did rewatch those fights. I think he did win those, but they were razor close. He might have lost to Verify actually. But yeah. Good performance from Sean O'Malley. Good salute KO. He needed this too, man. And I know why they put this fight together, because it was going to be a guaranteed banger. But it was going to be an O'Malley destruction. And if they put Sandhagen on it, there was a chance it would have been a bit boring. So, amazing performance from Sugar Sean, dude. He's back. And he's going to fight Piotr Jan next, probably. Jan, please don't... Please, Jan. Just beat fucking Merab, dude. And then we can have this end of the year on like a co-main event of a pay-per-view. Sick. It would be sick. Josh Hokett versus Derek the Black Beast Lewis. I was kind of nervous for Hokett in this fight because of how hittable he is in the Curtis Blades fight, but Lewis is terrible at fighting and he needs to retire. Lewis is just a fat guy at the end of the day. That's all he is, really, and he's a bit tough. Look at the fight. He landed 8 strikes. The way he throws his hooks are like amateurish, and he's spinning around to go to round 1. Hokett patient early. He threw about, I think he threw 2 wheel kicks early, which was kind of crazy, and then he almost fell over on one, and that could have been, against like a big guy like Derek Lewis, that could have been a fucking terrible moment, but... Well, I was nervous for him round 1, because he was like looking loose, he threw 2 wheel kicks, he did show improvement here, and something with Hokett, he's so young, and he's so like young into his MMA career, look at 1 strike from Derek Lewis, Jesus, this was domination. Hokett is so inexperienced in MMA, he's improving a lot in between every fight. This fight against Curtis Blades, he didn't show any of his kicks. And maybe because he's going against a guy who's trying to take him down, an actual better opponent, to be fair. But he showed an improvement here, throwing good front kicks, throwing oblique kicks. His boxing, did it look improved? Kind of looks similar, to be fair, but he's going against a lower level opposition here. His boxing was good. I think it was a beautiful double leg timing. He just snatched up Derek Lewis, landed nasty ground and pound, cut him open, just beating the shit out of him on the ground. Lewis got up to like his knees, and then Hokett just dragged his leg back and put him down on the ground again, and Lewis was looking like he might quit, and then ended the round. puts him in an armbar, was close to being finished. Because of his inexperience in MMA, I think he wasn't like 100%, how do I finish this? Which is pretty crazy being in the top fighter division. Or maybe he was just clowning Derek Glenn, didn't want to finish it and wanted a TKO in the White House. You know, that could have been true as well. He should have bent it like Tony Ferguson or Charles Oliveira, you know, like that, and that probably would have got the finish there. But yeah, dominant round 1 from the Hawk. Now we go on to round 2. Domination again. Lewis was like trying to bite. He was biting down on the mouthpiece here. He was like going forward a little bit. He was swinging hooks. Hokit saw them all coming. I think he actually he defended the takedown off Mr. Hokit. And then Hokit, you know, moved out the way of the punches, made a miss. Lewis was getting really, really gassed, and then he started landing 1-2s on him over and over again, pumping out the jab, throwing the 1-2, then rocking him bad, and then Lewis kind of quit. It wasn't like Waldo Cortez Acosta style, where it was that pathetic. He against Acosta, he fully quit. This one, it was at the White House. He had a little bit of grit in him, and then it was just like a 1-2 and another 1-2, and then put him down. Well, maybe it was like a 1-2-3. I can't remember, but yeah. And put him down, follow-up shots. Hokit wins. Great moment on the mic. I think on the mic he was like thinking about doing his rhymes and he didn't bother, and then started shouting out Trump saying, "You're fucking awesome." And then he called what? "Michelle Obama is a man," which is, you know, a great moment. To be fair, I can't confirm or deny that statement. So yeah, great moment on the mic from the Hawk. I think everyone in the crowd agreed because they're all, you know, they're Trumpsters there. Great moment from Hokit, dude, and he's actually a real problem in this division. I think he needs a #1 contender fight now. And I've got to say, Hokit, it's great that he took this fight against Lewis, because it's another fight to build momentum on him, another fight camp to improve, and he looked improved here, sure, against a lower level opponent. And Lewis is shit, but Lewis is a dangerous guy, you know. He's a dangerous guy. You can't overlook him because he can chin you at any moment, but you know, it was a good performance from Hokit, and he needs a #1 contender fight next. Great performance from the Hawk. Mauricio Hufi versus Mauricio. Look at that. Let's look at his win streak. Hold up. This was an accident, but it's working out. 1, 2, 3, 4 fight. He had 1 win. So what's his record in the UFC? 2-6, 2-7. He's ass, dude. He's ass. Anyway, now onto the fight here. He's terrible. Michael Chandler versus Mauricio Hufi. Hufi beat the shit out of him. And I was saying on my prediction video, there's a chance for a Chandler smudge. And I picked Hufi, but that was wrong as well. Chandler couldn't get any of the grappling off. Chandler was like thinking about shooting takedowns. But I don't know if you could call them real shots, because he'd go to grab the leg and then say, no, I don't want to. I think there was only 1 real takedown attempt he got, and Hufi stuffed it. So yeah, dominated. Chandler, a bit like Zahabi was in round 1, running on the back foot, threw like maybe 1 or 2 calf kicks. His big punch of the fight, he did land a Superman punch. He landed a Superman punch, but that was it. Hufi was pumping out the jab, you know, getting close when we get towards the finish. Starts unloading volume on him. Throwing his right hand, landed a wheel kick which sat him down to a knee. Starts unloading on him. I think Hufi landed a nasty rip to the body when Chandler was up against the fence. It was a nasty rip to the body, and then Chandler did tough it out, to be fair. And then I think Hufi threw another wheel kick, and then the finish happened. He threw another wheel. I think Chandler went for a takedown, and then Hufi landed an uppercut. It was something like that, or went for the clinch. Hufi landed an uppercut, then Chandler rolled. And then did like a 360 roll, and then he got to the corner, and then Hufi started unloading on him, and he basically quit because he was fucked. Good performance from Hufi. Chandler needs to retire, bro. Chandler's fucking ass. As I accidentally went on his record before, you could see he's like 2-6, 2-7 in the UFC. This is bad stuff, bro. This is bad stuff. Getting outstruck by Paddy Pimblett. It was a recipe for disaster in Mauricio Hufi. And Hufi is looking improved. Sure, this is against a very low level comp. I mean, Chandler's actually terrible. And someone like Conor McGregor right now would batter Michael Chandler, you know, I believe. I think he'd beat him, maybe not as dominantly as this, but he'd still beat the fuck out of him. So yeah, good performance from Hufi, as expected low. He was here to dominate Chandler, and he did. Not really much to break down here. Hufi, maybe give him like a Dan Hooker next. That could be a fun fight. Bo Nickel versus Carl Dorcas. I picked Bo Nickel. A lot of people were picking Dorcas here, and I know why, because he's been looking good in his career. He beat Mikel Pereira. He beat GM3 both really easily. I know he did lose to like Eric Anders and like a Roman Dolidze, and that was like, okay, well, he's improved though. I mean, that showed in this fight. But we go to the fight, round 1, or it's only a round. Nickel takes him down easily. Cut him open with elbows, hurt him a little bit. I was getting to a bit of a stalemate on the ground, so then the ref stood it up. I thought it was a bit of a, you know, in my opinion, I don't think they should have stood it up, but I'm fine with them standing it up, you know, it's at the White House, and we want real entertainment here, and I was getting a bit dull, so I thought it was a fair stand-up there, and Bo Nickel, I think it was a cross and a left hook, put out, or like a right hook, I don't know if he's a southpaw or not, I think he might be a southpaw, but yeah, a cross and a left hook of what would be if you're orthodox, and then just put him out. Carl Dawkins put on the ground, and that's it. I thought Carl Dawkins was going to show some great... Carl Dawkins quit, dude. Terrible performance from Dawkins. He got his ass swept. How good's RDR? How did RDR beat Bo Nickel, but yet lost to Brendan Allen and Carl Brower like that? But, you know, maybe Brendan Allen would beat Bo Nickel, to be fair. I'd pick Brendan Allen to beat Nickel. But, yeah, good performance from Nickel. He's definitely improved, but he hasn't fought great comp, but... It was a good performance from old Nickel here at the White House. He needed this as well, dude. I think if he would have lost, he would have retired, so... Yeah, good performance from Nickel. Terrible performance from Dawkins. Not much to break down here. Now on to Diego I've rewatched this fight. I missed out on the fight live because I woke up at 2 a.m. and, you know, the fight already happened. But great performance from Lopez, dude. No, it wasn't a great performance. Steve Garcia was, if we go to round 1, Steve Garcia was actually piecing him up. I think early in round 1, Garcia was up pressuring and he landed a big 1-2 and kind of rocked him a little bit. And then the whole round, he just pieced him up on the feet, basically. And it was going out a similar way in round 2. Lopez has I can't, you know, in a rematch, I'd confidently pick Jean Silva, you know. And I made a video about how Jean Silva's the best featherweight. And he would fuck up all these guys, I believe. Jean Silva would destroy Lopez in a rematch, I think. Because Lopez's defense is actually atrocious. His defense is terrible. He blocks punches with his face. He has no head movement at all. He doesn't move his head. He has his head on like a silver platter, ready to get hit by basically anyone who has some decent boxing in the division. And round 1, Garcia's piecing him up. We go to round 2. Garcia's also piecing him up again in round 2. But then... Lopez, I think midway through the round, says, fuck this. He starts going forward. And then that's it. Lopez is good at brawling, dude. In the pocket, that's where he's at. And Garcia's been knocked out before, you know. He's a bit chinny. And then Lopez says, fuck this, and starts swinging at... I think he starts swinging at Garcia. He drops him. Garcia gets up, and then they both just start swinging hooks in the pocket like crazy. And then Lopez lands a big shot, puts Garcia down. Follow-up shot, puts him out. And that's what he needed to do, dude. Lopez needs to know he's not really a grappler, even though he has good grappling and should use it. At the end of the day, he's a brawler, dude. And he can beat a lot of fighters in the division. Against Volk in that rematch, I'm sorry, if he had the right game plan, that was a winnable fight. He fought like a fucking idiot. Start point fighting Volk, bro. Go in there and brawl with Volk and just walk forward and say, I don't care about getting hit by you, Volk. You have no power. I'm going to land on you. And just go walk at him and show him no respect. And he could have won that fight. But he had the wrong game plan. And you know, point fighting with Volk. Volk's probably would beat anyone in the division by point fighting. So yeah, decent performance from Lopez. I don't know what's next for him, but yeah, he's been talking about going up to 155. He could give it a go, dude. Justin Gaethje Lopez. That's a winnable fight for Lopez. You never know. Gaethje would fuck up Lopez, but yeah, decent performance from Lopez. Good finish. Who got the bonuses on this card? No bonus for Lopez or Nickel. No bonus for Hocker. Okay, I mean, that was expected. Lopez for Garn and Lopez for Gaethje and Fight of the Night. Okay, that's earned. I think, did they not give 3 performance bonuses and then 1 Fight of the Night? Maybe it's 3 altogether. Maybe I've got that off. But yeah, hey, Gaethje deserves it, dude. Pulling off that crazy upset. So yeah, amazing card, generational card. Knockout after knockout after knockout. Amazing card. This card was actually cinema, and I loved every moment of it. Great card overall, and I loved the event too, man. Let's talk about the actual setting of the event. The event was sick. They had like a big jumbotron like down. I think it was on like I'm not American, but some lawn by land. There was 80,000 people there in the crowd watching this event. The actual crowd had like you could tell some of them were UFC fans there. I thought there would be like no UFC fans, it's a bunch of random famous people, which there were a decent amount of. And you know, it was so sick when the fighters would walk out from the different offices. You know, when Gaethje walked out, it was all different parts of the White House. I think Pryor was walking past all the presidents with Gaethje reading the amendment rights, or whatever you want to call it. Taporia walked out from the Oval Office. Dude, this card was sick. I love the setup of the White House. It will never happen again. The weather was perfect too, by the way, which was a big issue coming into this card. The weather, and I was shitting on it because it was on a Sunday, and it should have been on a Saturday, but hey, it worked out great. Loved the event. Amazing card. Generational. The White House was sick. When it first got announced, I thought, okay, this is a bit gimmicky shit, but it looked amazing, dude. The White House card, perfect. Yeah, amazing card. Next week, what? Cap or Gucci, but the next pay-per-view is McGregor, dude, which is going to be amazing. So yeah, like, subscribe, do look good. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.